And welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. Come to you from Columbia, South Carolina, where we are knee-deep in the South Carolina State Fair, and the Oklahoma Sooners are coming to town. I can't remember the last time they visited Columbia, Jackpot. You're the Gamecock historian. When's the last time Oklahoma played at South Carolina? It's been a while. Anyway, welcome my co-host.
This is the first time ever.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the first time ever. They've never beaten us before.
Oh,
We're
that's
undefeated
right.
against them.
Yeah.
The first meeting was last year, but
Either way, Oklahoma's coming to town. They're a 9.5 point favorite, or 5.5 point favorite over South Carolina. We're gonna pick some games in a moment. Clemson plays SMU this weekend. Yeah, all kind of good stuff happening, right, Jackpot?
Yes, all kind of good stuff happening this weekend.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and pick games. Let me bring it up here. Let's see here. South Carolina, their first game under their new offensive line coach, Mr. Sean Elliott. We'll get to that game in a moment. Let me bring up the games here. We're going to start picking. All right, here we go. First game on the schedule is Auburn at Mizzou, Jackpot. Mizzou's a 1.5 point favorite at home. I think Auburn's a shit show. I think Mizzou and Drinkowitz, I think he may run it up. And they may win big up there. I think they're pissed off after the Alabama game. So give me Mizzou minus 1.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. Auburn's winless in conference right now. They've had some close calls. They've had some calls not go their way. They've had some bad luck. This is a short line, though. They're at home. It's a night game. Mizzou's coming off of a close loss, a close but no cigar effort against Alabama. A hashtag you tried type of game there. I think Auburn gets the win. I can't see Auburn not winning a game in conference or going this long without winning a game in the conference. Not that they're a good team, but
right.
I mean, at home, I think they match up pretty well. If this was on a road game, it'd be a different story. But I'm going to go with the War Tiger, Eagle, Plainsmans, whatever we're calling them this week.
Yeah, I think I wrote it incorrectly on the pick'em form there. The game is actually at Auburn. Sorry about that. Anyway.
Yeah, you did. I was going to tell you. I was going to message you and tell you that, but I figured people had already picked it anyway, and I didn't really know if it'd make that much of a difference.
Well, you should.
Robert says, "What's up with YouTube?" I mean, I don't know. Why is everybody's name on the @ over there in the chat? Do you see that going over there?
I do. I don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't know. I didn't touch a damn thing.
Nope. I didn't touch anything. I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest with you. So we'll see how that rolls. I don't know. Anyway, as Jackpot looks like he froze in there for a second. Jackpot, you can hear me, right? We're good?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Next matchup is Old Dominion at James Madison. James Madison's giving up a 1.5 at home. Old Dominion's been solid in some spots, but I'm going to take James Madison. minus 1.5.
Yeah, if you kind of look at their schedules a bit, you'll Old Dominion's I think they're a 1-loss team or they're a 2-loss team. But if you'll notice, ain't played nobody. And then they inexplicably just went on the road. So this is why you can't trust those Sun Belt and Conference USA, and you can't trust any of these teams to perform. They, for some odd reason, just went on the road last week and lost by like 20 at Marshall. And this is a home game. Give me James Madison here. Whichever one wins is going to probably represent the conference in the conference championship game, most likely. Because their schedules are pretty soft the rest of the way. But like I said, you can't count on them.
All right, the next matchup are two teams that South Carolina has played and lost to. One, they were kind of popped by a little bit there with Vanderbilt. You can make an argument they could have won the LSU game. LSU is at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is giving up a 1.5 jackpot. I think the world will be shocked if Vanderbilt beat LSU, don't you?
Well, I don't know. They're favored. They're not usually in this situation or not usually favored. Just seeing LSU in person, seeing them in person is no different than seeing them on TV. Their offense is doo-doo. But everybody last week acted like, LSU found something. They found a running game against South Carolina. But, dude, they looked like they were stuck in mud. Okay? Maybe the stats said that, but I don't believe it. It looked like that game looked like a battle of two shitty teams to me. And as I said in that video on the way home, they looked like they were trying to see who could out Kentucky each other first. So South Carolina out Kentucky them. I'm going to go with LSU. I think LSU's a more talented team. I think they did find something with that wide receiver / tight end Green. That got that basketball player number 14. That guy's a matchup. He'd be a matchup nightmare for anybody. Nobody's got a corner that's tall enough and athletic and rangy enough to match up with that dude. And if you can get him out there in a one-on-one situation, he's gonna blister some people. I expect this is going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to seeing this one, but I think LSU's going. I think they're just too talented. I think they're going to beat Vandy.
Vanderbilt went down to Alabama and played pretty well.
Pop them in the damn mouth. I hope they beat them by fucking 30. Be honest with you.
Well,
wouldn't hurt my damn feelings none. Shut them motherfuckers up some more. Anyway, sorry.
Honest. I've never seen LSU not favored against Vanderbilt, so that's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But I'm going to go with the more talented roster. Give me LSU and the 1.5.
Yeah, they said on the TV that this is the first time that Vanderbilt's been favored in a SEC game since 2018, which is odd to think of. Given the season, the last season and a half that they've had. That they've not been favored at all, but they haven't. They said they hadn't been favored against LSU since 1948. I'm like, they didn't have fucking lines in 1948. What the hell are they talking about? Yeah. They may have beaten them in 1948, but yeah.
I'm taking LSU.
James said something pretty interesting over there in the chat. I wanted your opinion on this. He says, after this year, Vandy's going back to the cellar. What do you think about that? Because, Pavio will be gone. And all their success mirrors up with him coming there. They were 2-10 in 2023.
Yeah.
You think they go back to the shitter, or do you think Clark Lee's able to sustain it?
Let's be honest here. When we look at Vanderbilt, the rest of their schedule, okay? I know they have the one loss, and that's at Alabama, and they look good. But the rest of their schedule checks out like this. Home with LSU, home with Mizzou, at Texas, Auburn at home, Kentucky at home, and at Tennessee. All right, so they're 5-1 right now.
It's manageable.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 games left. If they go 3-3 the rest of the way, that's 8-4. They'll build Clark Lee a statue. So are they going to get back to 8-4 next year? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing too, though. He may be able to parlay that into, going to the transfer portal and telling people, look, we don't suck ass like we used to. You could come here and help us keep building this program. That may be the way that he goes. And if you're at Vanderbilt, that's how you have to win. So with that, I don't think to say they're going to go back to the shitter is far-fetched. Okay, in my opinion, if Clark Lee recruits like Drinkowitz does at Mizzou and gets guys from the transfer portal and builds pieces there, they may end up being a respectable a respectable team in the conference. But it all comes down to the portal for them. So it's hard for me to say they're going to go completely back to the shitter. The teams that need to worry about them are Kentucky's on a different planet right now. Shout out to Big Barney Ross, but he knows what I'm talking about. They're not even trying to play competitive football up there. They don't give a shit. But teams like that could go in every year and be like, we got a good chance we can beat Vanderbilt. We can beat Arkansas. We can beat Mississippi State. Those days are over, in my opinion.
Did you hear Big Barney Ross today make a video talking about a rumor about Mark Stoops possibly being connected to the Virginia Tech job?
That's an upgrade. I can make
it. He would. Look, it would be like almost like in the 1950s. You watched the Junction Boys movie. Do you remember that? And when Coach Bear Bryant arrived at Texas A&M. Those Texas A&M player, he came from Kentucky, and they said he ain't got to play second fiddle to no shady basketball program no more. It's almost like 70 years later, it's almost like the same thing.
Yeah.
He can go to Virginia Tech, he ain't got to play second fiddle to no shady basketball player no more. Huh?
Yeah. That's true.
It's really not fair. I mean, he doesn't have the NIL money to get the players to compete. So,
but he doesn't have that at Kentucky, so I don't know. Next matchup is Southern Cal at Notre Dame. Southern Cal is getting 9.5. It's hard for me to pick Stinkin' Riley in anything, and Notre Dame's playing pretty good right now. I'm gonna take Notre Dame minus 9.5 at home.
I don't know. That's a lot of points for me. That's a rivalry game, and USC hadn't showed up real good in their last two trips. To the I'm not gonna say to the East Coast, but they didn't show up real well at Purdue. They didn't cover. They came to Illinois. They didn't cover there. I think they show up for this one. I think they cover that spread. They've been playing pretty well. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs or not, but I think they give them a little bit of a run for their money. That series supposedly getting canceled soon.
Series? I don't know.
The USC Notre Dame one?
I don't know. I think they're rivalry games like they always.
I thought it's supposed to be, but I thought it was getting canceled.
They're going to eventually get those guys into a conference, and I think the way that they're going to do it is they're going to tell teams like Southern Cal, you can't schedule Notre Dame behind closed doors, and Notre Dame's going to get to a point where they're going to play UMass, Air Force, Navy, Army, and maybe Washington State. That'll be the kind of games that they get. And if the ACC leaned on them and said, we're not going to give you 4 games every year, we're not going to do it. It's a new college football world. If they would, lay the hands on them like that, Notre Dame would go somewhere and try to find a conference because they wouldn't have a schedule to play. If these athletic directors had a set of balls and they would tell these Catholic priests, hey, we're not going to let you have your crazy football, and NBC's not going to keep them on a contract where they can continue to have their own essential television network at no cost to them. That's how you do it. You get the SEC commissioner, all 4 of the big commissioners, and say point blank, we are not going to schedule you. None of our teams can do that. That's how you get Notre Dame into a conference, because the bullshit they're playing where it's, we have our own network with NBC, that is that is just not fair to everyone else. They need to get into a conference if they want to be a major college football player. If they want to just play Army and Navy and all that, great. Then you get treated like that and you don't get to play for a national title. That's how you fix that shit. So anyway.
Speaking of Catholics, in his post-game presser after the Carolina game, Brian Kelly on Lenora Sellers, he said that he felt our defense tonight. I thought that sounded kind of perverse and weird for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Maybe I just have a dirty mind, but that just sounds odd.
Everything.
Well, why couldn't you just say we really put the pressure on him? You could see it in his face or something of that nature. Not
how about instead of singling out the player, just say our defense was able to put some pressure on the South Carolina offense. Daddy. Hello, son. Then nobody knows the difference. Go that route. You know, some of these coaches need to have. You know what? He makes a shit ton of money. Here's what you do, sir. I will set up everything you need to say after a game. I don't even have to come down there. Just hit my Venmo, and I'll tell you everything you need to say that will have the reporters not pissed off with you, and then we can go from there. You're making more money than anything. What the hell does it matter? He's terrible. So,
yeah, he's been known to say some weird things. I don't know. He's a weird guy. Weird guy.
Tennessee's at Alabama. Alabama's an 8.5-point favorite here. I am no friend of the Tennessee Vols. Their fans hate me, and that's fine. But here's the thing. Alabama, they're beating teams, but it's not like they're grinding teams into a pulp. They're just not doing that. And I think Tennessee will go down there and hang with them a little bit. And, you know, we talk about, oh, this is their Super Bowl, and we're tired of that, you know, hearing that phrase. I think they'll be a little more peppy going down there. And you know Josh Heupel wants to smoke those damn cigars on the sideline at Alabama Stadium there. So I'm going to take Tennessee and the points there. I don't know if they'll win or not, but I think they have the team that can go in there and give Alabama some fits and possibly spring an upset. But I'm happy with the points there.
Yeah, I don't think an upset's happening. I don't think they cover either. I think that Ty Simpson's just getting warmed up this year, and he's gonna take them out to an early lead. Their running back Jam Miller supposedly is banged up, so they may have to lean a little bit more on the passing game. I think they're going to throw all over that shitpo defense, and especially in the second half and extend the lead. I think Bama wins by like 14, 17.
I fixed up the audio there, so there you go.
And they come up with more excuses once again. All I've heard for like a month ever since they lost that game to Georgia. Well, if we'd have had Gerard McCoy at corner, if he, he'd been out all season. If we'd have had him back there, we'd have beat Georgia and all these butts and coconuts. You don't hear me telling you we'd have beat Vandy if Lenore's had stayed in. I tell it like it is. I don't think we would have beat him with them in there because he wasn't playing good. Yeah. But yeah, they're going to come up with their excuses. I think Bama covers that spread.
What was it with Georgia a couple of years ago? It was raining, and then when you guys
it rained. It rained, so that's why Georgia blew them out. But it rained when Georgia had the ball too. So
okay, I don't know.
Yeah. Last year when they went to Oklahoma, they had they didn't cut the grass and that field was in terrible shape, and they acted like there were potholes in it. I cut a picture offline of some like hillside in some foreign country. It was full of just like rocks and just all kind of shit, and posted it up on Twitter. I said, what the Tennessee man tries to make you think Oklahoma's field looked like last night.
Billy Wong says, like you cried about Sellers, you did make point that he was often and didn't finish. I think that's what he's saying here. As you can see, I'm just trying to read your comments, sir.
I can't type in English. I mean, I know your last name is Wong and you're Chinese and that. But, you can still type in English. I can't understand what you're saying there. Billy said Gerard McCoy's. I never heard of her. That's honest. I never heard of the kid before this year. I'm not even sure it's somebody that even exists, like Cam Rising kind of was,
Yeah. The next matchup, Georgia Tech at Duke. Here's the thing. Georgia Tech is an underdog, even though I think that Georgia Tech is a good team. I think they lean on their quarterback a little bit too much, but there's a part of me that's like, you know what? I have to give Peckerhead credit. He was telling us about the Menza kid that came in from Tulane. If you watch him play, he looks like a field general out there. I mean, he really does. I think that Georgia Tech has to stub their toe somewhere, and this may be it. So give me Duke -1.5.
I'm going to take Duke as well. Their run defense is pretty salty, and Georgia Tech they're going to stub their toe up somewhere. They're undefeated. This is the point in the season when you can almost kind of start picking these things off because, you've got a bunch of undefeateds. Well, there are a bunch of those undefeateds are not staying undefeated.
Right.
It's nothing against. It's not. I'm not calling Georgia Tech a shitty team by saying it's just the law of averages. It's just not going to happen like that.
Well, and I don't want Rec Talk pissed at me, but he knows that I picked them to
be. He can lick my Peter. I don't care. I'm calling it like I see it. He knows that. So I don't care if I make him mad. He'll get over it. I'm taking Duke.
I'm taking
all
Duke.
15 of their fans are going to celebrate.
Yeah. We'll see how that works out. Ole Miss is at UGA. Ole Miss is getting 7.5. Remember, UGA got mouth pumped in the Grove last year.
They did.
7.5 is a kind of a freaky number there. The hook is interesting to me. So I think I'm going to take Ole Miss and get the points, though I think Georgia will win. I think it's going to be like 21-17 or something like that.
I don't think Ole Miss is as good as what they're made out to be. As evidenced by last week, everybody says, "Oh, they weren't focused at all on Washington State. They were worried about the Georgia game." Well, I understand that. Like, I can understand not going out and covering a game against Arkansas or insert shitty conference team here, but it's Washington State, dude. They're not even group Power 5 anymore. That was really, really bad. I just don't think they're all that good of a team. They've just played a weak schedule and LSU, and that they barely won that one. Georgia, I want to take Georgia to cover this because Georgia normally, unless they're playing Alabama, it seems like Georgia kind of steps up. Well, they got these home matchups like this. It seems like they kind of step up in these big spots. Yep. It wasn't last matchup at home, but the matchup before that at home, they kind of got embarrassed a little bit by Bama, got that win streak broke. I think they want to establish a little bit of dominance here. And I think they do. I think their run game gets on track here, and I like them to win the game by about 10. I'll win it by about 10.
Shout out to Rooster. He says Georgia doesn't like to cover. That's fair. Welcome Pigskin Pete into the show. My friend. What's up, buddy? The next matchup we have is Washington at Michigan. Michigan -6.5. I think Michigan's too much at home. Give me the Wolverines. Which way you rolling there, Jackpot?
I'm going to roll the other way. I'm going to go with Washington. I think Washington covers there. They might win outright. They looked pretty dang good to me last Friday night in that home matchup with Rutgers, which they were trailing at halftime, I believe. Or either that or they were only winning by 3. They ended up winning by over 20. I fell asleep. That was the day I drove down to the bayou, and I was tired. But Washington and Jed Fisher look pretty good. Jed Fisher is a good coach. Sharon Moore is not. I think he's been proven out to be pretty overrated. This guy, there's just discussion about that now. The whole cheating scandal and stuff's over with. It's like, why did they not do a coaching search to name a new coach there? They just kind of gave it to him. I think he knows what he's doing.
I don't know what this. I don't know, this gifted one Carolina jackpot membership. I mean, everybody's welcome here. We don't think we have a membership thing, do we, Kale? I don't. You see that? I don't know what the hell that
means. It's set up with memberships, but I don't do anything with the members, so I kind of hold off on that kindly because I don't want somebody thinking I'm gonna give them a private showing of my
testicles,
goodies or something, or my feet or whatever.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there you go with that. Next matchup is FSU at Stanford jackpot. FSU.
This is a shitter game because Florida State's lost 10. Does anybody know that they've lost 10 ACC games in a row?
Yeah, they're not very good.
And they were ranked. What were they ranked up almost high as number 5 at one point this season?
Yeah, and this is a team that beat Alabama that everybody's talking about. All this Alabama team's getting right, and Caleb DeBoer and this is Hoodie and all that shit.
I think that's going to go down in football history as one of the more unexplainable losses of all times. It just happened to take place in week 1. I mean, it doesn't make any sense now that you look at it.
Well, FSU is playing Stanford. Jackpot Stanford is bad. I mean, they are.
Jolish, thank you for the super chat. Jolish, he's taking on the money line. I believe Jolish lays down some bets now. Stanford money line. Wow, that would pay you out a pretty penny. They're 17.5-point underdogs. I'm going to take them to cover. Yeah, and I talked about how awful Stanford looked against Hawaii. That quarterback looked just totally fucking inept. But they've actually won 2 games. They beat San Jose State by a point, and then they beat Boston College by about 10.
They did, and they should have beaten Hawaii at the beginning of the season.
They should have beaten them too, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to roll with Stanford too, just because I think they've got a team of mercenaries down there, and I think that Norvell, if he doesn't get fired at the end of the season, Florida State does not care about football.
Weird trip for Florida State to make. Hey, and I was thinking about, nobody really talked about this one. As far as coach openings, that job is technically open at Stanford. Frank Wright's just kind of filling in for a year. Yeah. I think that would be the perfect landing spot if he wants to coach next year. That would be the perfect landing spot for James Franklin. Because it's an academic deal, kind of like Vanderbilt was an academic deal. I think, man, he could turn that place around. I really think he could.
Well, there you go.
You think about over the past 5 years, he's won an average of 10.55 games per year.
Yeah.
And the more and more I think about that, man, that just I don't know. Firing that dude was just fucked up.
Well,
who are they going to get that's going to beat Michigan and Ohio State?
They're going to pay Matt Rule a stupid amount of money.
Oh,
yeah. I think that's who they're going to pay.
He's not beating those people.
Here's the thing.
He ain't doing it.
Shit. What conference you're in, okay? He went 64-36 in Big Ten play. He won 64% of his games, and they fired him. I mean, what in the blue fuck? What a mess.
Took over the program, and when it was in, and let's not act like everything was hunky-dory. He was 2 years removed from that scandal when he took over that program.
The sexual harassment scandal, yeah.
I mean, a fucking shit show. And then Bill O'Brien kind of bridged the gap there for a couple of years. But, I mean, it was Franklin, how he had a lot to He had a lot of that to deal with still too, the residuals. So yeah, I think he got fucked. That was dirty.
That's true. All right. Next matchup is SMU at Clemson. SMU is getting 9.5 points, jackpot. Here's my thing. I'm taking SMU with the 9.5. I'm still not completely sold on the Clemson offense. I also don't know about Klubnik and his ankle, if that's fucked up from before. I think our backup is hot dog water. But here's the crazy thing. I read something a little bit ago, and I talked about this the other night about how if you're not playing for the conference championship, your season's kind of horseshit. That's kind of the way it works right now. There is a path for Clemson to go to Charlotte. All right. Now, Clemson has to win out, and, Duke has to beat Georgia Tech this weekend, and it starts to get a little bit clearer. Now, do I think that Clemson is a championship team? No, I do not. Do I think if they go to Charlotte, if they play Georgia Tech again or Miami, they probably would lose. I think they'd lose to Virginia too. But here's the crystal thing, though. It's going to piss South Carolina fans off to the end of time if Clemson is going to play for a playoff berth. Jackpot will be on here talking about they backdoored their way in again, and God damn it.
How mad is it going to make you if South Carolina wins out? South Carolina can still go 9-3.
Y'all aren't winning shit, okay?
Well, you're not winning out either. So, I mean, there you go.
I never said we
were. You said you would have to win. You said you would have to win out, and it would make South Carolina fans mad. That's what you said. That's what we're talking about.
We can go back to the tape. I said the path is for them to win out. I did not say I think they're going to win out.
Okay. All right?
The thing is that South Carolina fans are going to get pissed more and more as they go along, and they keep losing games, and Clemson's winning. And
I'm more pissed off about losing to fucking Vanderbilt than anything Clemson does. Y'all lost to fucking Syracuse, dude. That's fucking hilarious.
I never said that we were great. I'm just saying it'll piss off Gamecock fans to the end of time if Clemson's playing for a playoff berth, and y'all are sitting there with old Shane Fucko and your dumb offensive coordinator, and you had a generational quarterback, and you're not going to win 5 fucking games. That's what's going to be absolutely hilarious. So anyway, carrying on, I'm taking SMU and the points there. Clemson should have a good game with them. They might win, but I'm going to take SMU.
I'm going to take SMU also. I'm not sold on Clemson being able. I'm not sold on them on either side of the ball. In fact, I think I like the over in this game. I like the over in this game. I think there's going to be a lot of points here, as long as Klubnik is healthy and he's able to play. And if he's not healthy, he's not able to play, he's not 100%, then all bets are off. Because according to your Tater brethren, your backup quarterback is shit.
Generational quarterback. Yes, Lenora Sellers is a generational quarterback. He's getting piss poor coaching from a fucking idiot offensive coordinator that some people loved, and that's not his fault. He's still projected to be a top 10 draft pick, which would be the highest that any Gamecock quarterback has ever been drafted. He's a generational quarterback. And once he gets some good coaching, he's going to be good in the NFL, barring injury. I think he's that good. And I'm not the only one who thinks that way. Go and read up on him. Don't read up on him with the eyes of you hate him because of what he did to Clemson last year. Look at him from just a pro prospect. There is nobody in this upcoming draft that has a higher ceiling than Lenora Sellers.
He picked up the entire LSU defense and most of South Carolina's offensive line last week in the third quarter on a 1st and 10 quarterback keeper, and he drug all of them for 8 yards.
I'm telling you,
straight up the middle. I don't know how many people, if any of y'all missed that play or not, but I was like, what the fuck?
There's not a player with a higher ceiling than Lenora Sellers. The only dumb decision he's ever made is going to South Carolina and playing for Shane Beamer, but he can get rid of that by going to
Okay,
the
he became a household name last year by going to South Carolina and playing for Shane Beamer. So what?
Sure.
What? He didn't.
What has he gotten?
I remember. I seem to remember Skull fucking your team at the end of November last year, while on his way to becoming a household name.
Player, but he went to a college where he's not going to have a fucking anything unless Shane Beamer gives him a 9-win ring. Hang a fucking banner.
Okay, well, our season's halfway over, so let's let the season play out.
All right. Well, speaking of which way are you rolling, Jackpot? Are you taking SMU or Clemson?
SMU.
All right. Next matchup is Oklahoma at South Carolina. It's not even – I'm taking Oklahoma.
Okay.
I'm giving it 5.5. Best defense in the league against one of the worst offenses in the league, even though you have a great quarterback. So give me Oklahoma minus 5.5.
Hard to argue with that. I'm going to roll with Oklahoma too. I just got pissed off on Saturday with that team until they show me that they're serious about putting up points and winning, and I'm not gonna believe in it to do so. I'm not gonna predict them to do so. The offensive line coach change is nice. We'll see. I mean, it would be great if he just cuts their damn penalties in half. That'd be a hell of a start.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're going to give folks a chance to
I don't think that he can. I just don't think he can turn that line around in 1 year or half a year. I mean, because they've already developed such terrible habits.
Yeah.
They were talking about him. Jordan, the deal maker, was talking about him. He made a video talking about Beamer in his presser yesterday, talking about him being at practice and how active Sean Elliott was. He was, he was on top of the center in the nose guard position, yelling and pushing at him and trying to get him to jump and all this stuff. And he was coaching them. And boy, Shane Beamer was impressed with that. Well, isn't that normal? I mean, shouldn't all offensive line coaches be doing that? That tells me the last one wasn't.
Pigskin Pete with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Hang a banner for that nerd. Fair enough. Peckerhead says 9 and 6. I don't know what that means, but have at it, buddy. Anyway, Jackpot. Tell us what about South Carolina makes you think they could pull an upset. What do they got to do to win the game?
If they can get some plays going and get something moving on offense, I mean, they don't have to score a ton of points to beat this team because they're not going to be able to do anything offensively. I mean, Johnny Mateer's not going to be effective. You already saw that from what we saw last week. So, I mean, this thing is kind of gift wrap for them to win. But, I mean, they're just going to have to go out there and take it. Running game started clicking a little bit on Saturday night. I want to see some more of that. I want to see some more Matthew Fuller. I want to see whatever the fuck Shane Beamer's rotation that he wants to keep these running backs in needs to be followed through on. And he needs to hold them accountable for that too. Don't be afraid to let somebody else go if they don't do what you ask them to do.
I don't understand the whole I told them to give him more carries and they didn't. Steve Spurrier would have fist fucked somebody with a horse hoof at the half if they didn't do exactly what he said. So I don't know what the hell the relationship is Beamer has with them, but you know that I'm right. And you know that Spurrier, especially with the offense, would have lost his shit if he said, I want that guy getting
well, I mean, I think that Spurrier would have already been, they would have already been on the same page with him anyway. Whoever's working for Spurrier would have been able to read his mind and know what he wanted anyway, I think.
Yeah. Brock with the comment, let's not act like Brent Venables is a great head coach. On top of that, OU has quarterback issues and is coming off the Texas OU game. That is a very fair statement there, sir. Now, let's not forget that South Carolina went into Oklahoma last year and beat the fuck out of them. A lot of that was due to the defense, but they have done it, and they did do it. So,
I mean, Mateer, if you look at his stats, is 6'2", touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the year, and all three of those interceptions were last week.
Tanner Lowe says, Bama fan here. We'll be in Columbia next weekend for the game. You're going to be there, Jackpot, and your prediction. I don't think Jackpot will give you a prediction this early, but
no, I can't do one. I can't do it a prediction yet. I got to see how y'all do against Tennessee. And no, I won't be at the game, sir. I'll be here live streaming it, but I hope you have fun. Hope you enjoy Columbia and they treat you well. We're known for being hospitable.
Yeah. Someone said Cocktober is starting a little late this year. Shane Beamer is 5 and 9.
I don't even know who started that. Was that Josh?
I think it was Josh Pate, and he's been getting pounded on Twitter about it. But Shane Beamer is 5 and 9 in October. Wins are against, I think, Kentucky. He's got the one win last year in October, but he hasn't really had a good team in October. His teams play better when it gets to November.
All the wins are probably all against Kentucky and Vanderbilt.
They are, but I'm not. Gamecock. Look, there are Gamecock fans like Rooster who are smart enough to know, yeah, he's had issues in October, and not having to sit there and blow the Shane Beamer peace pipe here. But there are dummies that are like, oh, we're just, and those are the silly fans. But anyway, let's see here. The link is there if you want to join the show.
Yeah, there are younger Gamecock fans over on that hang out over on X and all this and that they make fun of older Gamecock fans like myself and Rooster and people like that call us doom and gloomers. Well, I mean, what the fuck are you supposed to do? I mean, this is what we've become accustomed to.
Well,
I mean,
none of them know who. I mean, we can use names like Derek Watson and Ryan Brewer, and they don't know about those guys.
No, they were probably wearing a damn diaper when Ryan Brewer was scoring touchdowns in the Alpha Bowl.
Tanner says another super chat. Thank you for that, sir. Went last year for first time. Y'all's big win against A&M. Love the atmosphere, and yes, fans I think he meant are very friendly. Yeah, we joke about that, but. Like, if you go to a South Carolina tailgate, the majority of the people down there are very nice.
Fans ate very friendly. Yeah, not me. I eat angry.
Yeah,
especially on Taco Tuesday. No, thank you for the super chat, sir. I knew what you meant. First Gamecock quarterback I can remember is Garcia. Dang, you must be a young one. Cause dang. Oh, man.
Gamecock. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Been too many games down there, man.
That's the first Gamecock quarterback I remember is.
Is it Todd Ellis? Can't be Todd Ellis.
No. Gordon Beckham.
There you go.
That's the first Gamecock quarterback I remember. Gordon Beckham, and then we moved into Alan Mitchell and Mike Hold, and then Todd Ellis.
Let's welcome Peckerhead to the show. Good evening, sir.
Well, speaking on the topic, I might as well go ahead and name the first Gamecock quarterback I can remember.
Wait, let's see if we can guess.
Yeah, try and guess it.
Let's see if we can guess. You probably
Blake Mitchell.
Yeah, I know. Chris Smelly. I'm going to go with Chris Smelly.
Chris Smelly.
Ah, bingo!
Chris Smelly. Yeah. It was him and Ryan Suckup, the deadly combo of the worst last names you could ever have.
Mm-hmm.
And you had them on one team. Chris Smelly, Ryan Suckup. I think there might have been a third, but I'm just too young to remember it. So,
but in fairness, though, Smelly was like a highly recruited player.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, he was from Alabama, so he was a baseball player too, wasn't he?
He was recruited fairly high, and
all I'll ever remember about him is going up to that damn Clemson game in 2008. And when it rained, and I think we lost like 34-14, and he threw like 3 picks in that game. And that was the game. That was the game where they decided to make Dabo the coach after it was over with. Took the
Well, that
interim.
was also the game where they were interviewing Spurrier after the game. I think was it Tommy Beecham? Was that the backup? And they asked
Tommy
him,
Beecher, yeah.
Tommy Beecher. They asked him, "Hey, coach, why did you give Beecher some snaps?" And he goes, "He didn't want to play, Ron." He was talking to Ron Morris. He didn't want to play, Ron. What do you want me to do? I'm paraphrasing, but Jackpot knows I'm right. And he knew that he couldn't do shit because he had a little Smelly out there as his quarterback.
Well, speaking of Smelly, did y'all know he got missing? He was reported missing at sea for 12 hours last year.
Yeah.
No.
He came around.
Yeah, in the Gulf of America.
What did he do? Go out there and throw some interceptions?
He was kayak fishing between Destin and Panama City.
Ladies and gentlemen, that he actually could hit the ball with water. He could hit water. That's what he was doing.
He wasn't that bad. Come on.
Lisa wants to know, how old is Peck Jarhead?
He's about as old as your granddaughter, ma'am.
That's what she topped out. I'm just Peck Jarhead.
I think your granddaughter's a senior. He just graduated. They chewed the same dirt up there because, he went to Clemson. So there's that.
I did go to Clemson. I like to say about that, Rob, I took the spot of someone whose dream it was. He grew up 18 years dreaming of going to Clemson, and he got a big old fat rejection letter because old Rob has an SEC bias, decided to attend. So
well,
that's why we got to frame the whole situation.
I would buy that, and that is funny. But the reality is if you go to Clemson and tell them I want to be a poultry science major, they're going to accept you regardless. You know that as well as I do.
Yeah, they got some goofy degree. They got a turf degree. Can you believe that?
Yeah, they've got an automotive engine degree or whatever. They're trying to be a mechanic.
They just come out with anything.
But there's a lot of money in that profession.
Yeah, there is.
I think the Gamecocks win outright. I'm going to just be forthcoming, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Mateer, he was pedestrian in the nicest terms. He was pedestrian last week. What do you have? 3 picks?
Dude, he's got a fucking
and there were bad picks. They weren't picks you attribute to an injury. They were just throwing right to a defender, throwing into double, triple coverage. Mateer looks like he's lost his step that he had throughout the start of the year. Hell, he might even gain it back in a couple of weeks, but I don't see it versus the Gamecocks. The defense thrives on taking the ball away. We got great pass rushers. I think that's what you need to beat Oklahoma. It's going to be a low-scoring game on both sides. Skeletor can call a good offense. Defense, I should say. Let's just call it like it is.
If Brent Venables was smart, if I was him, I would play that backup Hawkins against us. And
Hawkins, yeah.
Because I would be confident that I would be able to win the game with Hawkins, and I would save Mateer up and get him healed up for my games against LSU and Bama and whoever, Ole Miss that I've got coming up down the pipe. They got a tough schedule coming up, and they can still make the playoffs if they win those games. But I would do that. I would sit him, and then if I'd have Mateer on backup, and if Hawkins started fucking up and Carolina started winning, maybe I'd bring him in then or something. But yeah, I'd try to save that dude.
I'll tell you, Cam. Go ahead, Rob.
Really quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I interrupted you.
Isn't that the guy that was hearing footsteps last year and threw all those fucking picks, and the game was over in the first quarter? I think that.
Yeah, he lost in Navy too. Yeah,
but you got to remember why he played. He played because we absolutely dominated old Jackson Arnold and got him benched.
But was he? Yeah. And I'm not trying to be a smartass here, but your defense did whatever the fuck they wanted to do with the Oklahoma offense last year. But they got to Arnold first, and then they put him in, and he was shitty too, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's at the start. He came on a bit late. Actually, they might have put Arnold back in. I can't really remember correctly. Whoever was playing quarterback late, they scored a couple of points there in garbage time. But
all I know from that game is
that like they did put Arnold back in.
I think so.
That game was so bad it caused JR to have more cancer. That's how bad that game was.
Oh,
Damn.
God
man,
bless Jim
that's
Ross. Just saying. His health
All
went
right.
down after that game. That's what happened.
But hey, regardless, I still think the South Carolina team has juice. I mean, dude, Vandravius Jacobs, he's flourishing into a wide receiver one. We thought it would be Harbor. We're getting Jacobs. I'm not mad at that. Jacobs brings his own skill set. He seems to get open deep often, which I'm glad to see. It's really going to be a matter of can we block the guy that's directly in front of us? I mean, if we're just completely honest, I honestly believe this team does have juice when they have a chance to actually do something. But if you can't block the guy in front of you, you might as well be running the wishbone, getting a fullback in to cover that gap. There's nothing else you can run outside of that. I form, having the fullback cover up that A gap because your center can't pick up who's directly in front of him. So, I don't know. I know the defense is going to bring it. Apart from, I'd say the Vandy Missouri game, apart from those two, the defense has looked serviceable all year, serviceable to great in some games. I thought they looked really good versus LSU. I know we lost, but I thought they looked good, man. Forced a bunch of key turnovers.
Can we say that Vanderbilt and Mizzou are the two best teams you played? Is that fair?
I think so. Now, I'm not saying Vanderbilt has LSU. I'm not saying they're going to win that game this week, but as far as teams that actually came and played, like looking at, you know what I mean, Rob? Looking at the teams that showed up,
sure.
I'd definitely say those were two of the best teams. Now, on paper, LSU by far. But as far as performance goes, you got to go with those two. I mean, they came in with their game plan, they executed. So
Oklahoma is second in the conference in sacks.
Well, to be fair, they had like that. That's a bit inflated. They had like 11 or 12 versus Auburn. They had some historic game versus Auburn.
It's a key stat that I put together for my radio stuff I'm doing on Saturday. Oklahoma's second in the conference in sacks.
That's
South Carolina is next to last in the conference in sacks allowed. So just one number there.
Did you see what Carolina was in sacks?
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm not. Let's see here. South Carolina is 9th in the conference in sacks.
9th. Is there anything we're towards the top of the conference in right now, Rob, that you know of since you got
probably punting.
Interceptions.
I
could believe that. Interceptions.
Well, got to be returns, touchdowns. I got to be number one.
You're number one in the conference in interceptions with 8.
Damn, we had 8. I did see something about I think it was Jalen Kilgore being one of the top safeties picked.
Right. Yeah. He's gonna be good. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's talent on the football team. Poorly coached. You have to admit that. You've got guys that, Stewart is going to be a first round pick. Kilgore, I've seen where he's going to be an early second round pick, and then Sellers is going to be a top 10 pick.
The thing with Stewart that infuriates me, Rob, and I know you've seen it if you watch Carolina games, is this dude is getting tackled on half of his pass rushes, and it's just not being called. They called that phantom pass interference. You remember this play, Dale? That pass interference they called on us when I don't even know what the hell they called it. It looked like just basic fucking pass coverage. And in the midst of that play, you have Dylan Stewart literally getting tackled on the edge right in front of the umpire.
Which game was that?
That was last week.
Okay.
I gotta put this out there. Tennessee fans have to be told they're beautiful all the time. Who leads the conference in sacks? VFL 603 asked. That would be Tennessee. There you go.
To answer Baylor Man's Tennessee, by the way, give them their flowers. They deserve it. But I did want to answer Baylor Man's comment. I follow a bit more.
That's wonderful. I must be undefeated.
Don't go there, Kale. Come on now. Hey, but Baylor, man, I follow a bit more on the flip side of scale. Shane Beamer, in my mind, as the younger generation of fan of the team, honestly, I think he's built up a 2-year leeway. That's including this year. Now, if he goes out next year, let's say we win 4 games this year, he's not getting fired. Put it that way. If he
No,
goes
he's
out
not.
next year and wins 4 games, conversations will be had.
He's gotten another year because of
He just got extended.
And the Tennessee one. Yeah. Ass Kicking Chicken says fire Shane Beamer and hire James Franklin.
No, he doesn't fit the culture of South Carolina.
Because he has a winning record in conference, so he doesn't fit the culture.
No, it's different than that. He's a suit and tie, wine and cocktail type coach. That ain't gonna fly in South Carolina. He would probably do well in the NFL realistically. I know he just got fired at Penn State, but I think his coaching style and the culture he builds would breed a lot better in the NFL than it does in college football. He just doesn't have that, I want to run through a brick wall for you.
John earlier where he needs to go to Stanford or something like that. I'm with you.
I think that would be the logical landing spot for him.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
Edward says y'all were all over Shane Beamer last year, and now he sucks. Well, I mean, when you're not winning, that's what tends to happen. I, for the record, have never been a Beamer guy. And you can go back and look at any of my videos and see that.
But Jackpot has been supportive, though. Let's be honest.
He has been, we can't fall into the same token as Florida. You can't give these guys – I know Beamer's had 4 years, but in general, you can't give these guys 3 years, 2 years, and fire them on a whim. I'm the kind of – granted, I'm the younger generation of fan.
In the Tennessee predicament.
That's what I'm saying. I'm the younger generation of fan, but in my point of view, once you hire a guy, he gets 3 bad seasons in a row before I consider firing him, especially if it's in his first 5 years.
Well, what you're saying makes sense, but also you have the mentality of you're constantly rebuilding. And getting a Cignetti-like coach is it's a pipe dream.
And that's the thing I said yesterday, the last stream. I mean, do we really think taking 45 transfers in the SEC is going to work? Kurt Cignetti came in, got a bunch of no-names, gave them their first payday, and he's a good coach, don't get me wrong. He was able to put them in the right position. But when you get to the SEC, it takes more than just being a good coach, and he's not going to be giving people their first payday. He's going to be competing against people who are being offered millions at schools around the country.
Aren't they ranked second in the country? They went to the playoffs last year, so in theory, it looks like they're going to have double-digit wins again and possibly in the playoff. That's pretty damn good.
I get it, but I don't think taking – and let's also asterisk this. He's had a historically easy run through his first 2 years as far as scheduling goes. I mean, absolutely taffy soft. People talk shit about Clemson, but if you compare Clemson to Indiana, I mean, it looks like you're comparing South Carolina to Clemson.
He didn't plan the schedule that he had last year.
I get that, but that's why I'm saying I don't think that process of taking 45 transfers is going to work when you play people with a pulse.
That is considered one of the better conferences in the country that has the defending national champion in it.
I get it, but he's playing 2 games a year. He has all year to game plan for 2 games through his first 2 years in Indiana. He's had all year to game plan for 2 games. And hell, if he loses those 2 games, he might probably still gonna make the playoffs. Realistically,
many people VFL with a comment. Many people hate Cignetti, so he would fit right in at South Carolina. Fair enough.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
People hate Cignetti? I didn't know people hated Cignetti.
They didn't like his. They didn't like his comments that he made at the Big Ten media days. I think it was about. They canceled their home and home with Louisville, and he's only going to play out of conference games against a group of 5, and he's just, I don't know. It just seems to be taking like this easy path, and he made some kind of douchebag statements like that. And then he made the thing like when someone asked him, well, "What's your background? Where'd you come from last year?" and he said, "Google me, I win." Or something. I don't know. I guess he just rubs people the wrong way. I don't have anything against him. I don't
have anything against that. Listen, all those comments I'm fine with.
He never licked the red off my candy.
Yeah, I'm not sure his coaching style translates to when are they doing their schedule reshuffle? I mean, they're going to have an absolute gauntlet at Indiana surely in about a year or two when that schedule flips. But
what's that?
I don't know, man. I would much rather go out. Hey, listen to this. Would you rather go out and let's just say South Carolina fires Beamer, right? We'll use South Carolina as the example. You got the option to go out, pay top dollar for any coach in the country because South Carolina is spending money on their coaches now, okay? Let's say you go out, you got Drink as an option. I don't think he'd move, but I think he'd consider it. You got Drink as an option. You got the North Texas coach I was discussing with y'all last stream.
Because of the Missouri rule where he can pretty much pay anybody in Missouri just to come there for recruiting.
That's why I figured he wouldn't come, but it's an option. Hell, he might buy an extra $3 million. He's making good money right now though. He's making about $9 million a year. He's making really good money. But you got him, you got that North Texas guy. Hell, and you know who I think would be a good fit at South Carolina? Edo.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have all three of those options above Signetti, personally.
I think he'd do better than Beamer would.
I would take the Golish guy from South Florida. He's an offensive guy. We need an offensive guy. I want an offensive guy. I'm tired of. But Muschamp was a defensive guy. Beamer's I don't know what the hell guy.
Defense.
He's a special teams guy. I want an offensive guy.
The thing is with offense, because we see it with Tennessee, it gets you close to the point, man. But you got to have defense to get you over the edge. I mean, we've seen it with Tennessee year after year, where their offense is good enough to carry them to the playoffs, even. But their defense it's going to let you down eventually when you get to play in these important games towards the end of the year.
All right, Peckerhead, I've been polite to you this evening. I'm going to bring Billy on, and you need to let Billy talk.
God damn it!
God Fussing me about Billy?
Don't bring Billy
on.
This
goddamn shitty ass fucking UTEP team. I took this damn Sam Houston team on the damn money line today. Because they're 0-6, I figured they at least could fucking win a damn game against 1-5 team. But no, they got down on the fucking 5-yard line, dude, with first and fucking goal and couldn't score in 4 plays.
Oh my goodness!
Turn the ball over, and now fucking UTEP's gonna score again, or they just did score. Now there's 7 minutes left in the game. They're gonna fucking win it because this fucking Sam Houston team sucks. They can't move the damn football. There's no way in hell they can score 2 touchdowns in 7 minutes. That would be like that's not happening. What a fucking
touching on Sam Houston before Billy gives his introduction. I did just want to mention this because I saw it on social media.
Listen, I don't know why I did this. I violated my own rule, which is don't bet on shitty teams because they never fucking do anything to help you.
Well, they just had I believe it was a running back who transferred in who felt brazen enough to post on social media while he was on the roster. Keep in mind that transferring to Sam Houston was the worst decision he's ever made. Shortly thereafter, he got released from his scholarship and kicked off the team. I mean, how do you do
this happen?
This was at Sam Houston. This happened a couple days ago. He put on social media, I think it was Snapchat, that transferring to Sam Houston, it was his recruitment photo, and it said, worst decision I've ever made, but God's got me or something like that. And he was very promptly released of his scholarship thereafter.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what a schmuck, dude. But regardless, Billy, how you doing, buddy?
Billy, what do you have for the program this evening, sir?
I'm just listening to the Signetti comments. The guy comes in and immediately changes culture and everything, and they go to the playoffs. You can't deny that.
I get it, Billy.
You
but I would just ask you
can't
this.
spin. You can't spin it, and here they are again. They're right there.
I just ask you this though, Billy. Under his reign, who have they beat that had a pulse?
It doesn't matter. They play in the Big Ten week in, week out.
It's a
Peckerhead, they're fucking throttling teams.
They're beating who they're supposed to
They
beat.
beat Oregon. Nobody. That was Oregon's
Oregon
first Big
was a
Ten
great
loss.
Oregon was a great win, but
Oregon
that
was
was
great.
very recent. His playoff run. I don't know. I mean, they had what I think it was ranked like the 120th hardest schedule last year. I put really no credence.
His playoff. Notre Dame beat the shit out of them in the playoffs. But dude, they hadn't even they hardly ever even been to a good bowl game at Indiana. But it's their first playoff appearance. Let's give them a chance.
I think your problem is there's a coach that comes in and immediately changes the complexity of the team and makes the playoffs.
Here's my thing. I'm not sure if you put James Franklin on that roster, give him the same thing. I think he has the same results with that team, the same turnaround, just based off the teams they played.
Who does Signetti bring with him?
You get they're used to shitty coaching. They're used to shitty players. You get a guy who can come in, get some diamonds in the rough, and is a good coach. Signetti's a good coach.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, they were shitty before he got there. You know who their coach was? Robin Ellis, defensive coordinator.
Yeah. No, Signetti brought half the James Madison team with him. They followed him.
Yeah.
And he developed them. And y'all mentioned developing a few minutes ago, and I'm not trolling. It's just a fact. Where do you think, and I know there's somebody over here going to say, well, that don't mean nothing to NFL coaches. I'm just stating a fact right now. We're talking about development. Where do you think Sellers is in the SEC and QBR rating?
Well, you already told us earlier in the chat he's 14.
Well, nobody sent it. You know.
Well, I saw it.
Why is he 14?
Because he has piss poor coaching. Also, he doesn't have an offensive line.
Piss poor offensive line.
Yeah, I mean,
Piss poor coaching.
If we're honest, it's probably the O-line.
So how long are you going to stay with Beamer and his losing record in the SEC?
Well, I said this earlier. I think he's got at least – so he's got this year in the back. Let's say he doesn't win another game this year. He's not getting fired.
Let's say if he does.
If he does what?
They just extended him. They're not.
I
That's
know.
what I'm saying. He's got at least – he's got
Why
this
did he
year.
get an extension?
Well, we went 9-4 last year.
He got
What's his
extension.
SEC record? I don't care about 1 year, beating a bunch of nobodies. What's his SEC record after 4.5 years?
Well, you got to examine stuff like that. And
No. Let's go with the raw number.
He took over a 2-win team.
He's 16
I mean,
and
are
20.
you expecting? Well, hold up. Honest question: are you expecting a coach who takes over a 2-win team in the SEC? We could use Vanderbilt for this example because Vanderbilt is consistently a 2-win team. Are you expecting a new coach hire of Vanderbilt to have which I'm gonna preface this with South Carolina has higher standards than Vanderbilt. Okay, we all can acknowledge that. They might not be the standards of Alabama, but they're higher than Vanderbilt.
In regards to what?
I think that's plenty safe to say. But for this example, we're using a 2-win team. He took over a 2, or they might have been 3-win. Who cares? 2-win team, 3-win team, same thing. Are you seriously expecting a coach in the SEC who takes over a program like that to have a winning SEC record after 4 years or even 3 years?
How long are you going to go with it? That's the question. How long are you going to go with it?
I think if he shows consistent progression, you focus more on the overall record than the SEC record.
He's going behind. He's going backwards.
No, that's not true. That's not true. He's gone over the Vegas win total in his complete years 3 out of 4 times.
Yeah, and this season's halfway over.
You
It's
spend things.
not totally over.
That's not spending things. That's giving context.
If he never wins another SEC game, he's going to be 16 and 24 after 5 years. How do you spin that?
Well,
That's
look,
not. I didn't spin it. I gave context. I think for our situation, you would look more at his overall record. You
Do you
look
know
at
why
his-
Penn State got
how
rid
he
of James
compared to it.
Franklin? Do you know
I
why they got
stand
rid of
by-
Franklin?
Hold on just a second. First of all, Franklin went 64-36, won 64% of his games in conference. That was not good enough for Penn State.
There you
Second
go.
of all, Shane Beamer has a job still because he has 2 wins over Clemson and he beat Tennessee and blew them the fuck out. That's
Well,
why
that's true
that's
too.
it.
Those were
So you're saying if he had lost those games to Clemson and lost to Tennessee, but he had 3 other wins over 3 other teams, he'd be
like
fired.
I think so. If
yeah,
you-
no, I don't. When you frame it like that, I don't agree with it.
if you trade those losses for, I don't know, let's give it to another team. Like let's say I don't know, flip it and give the wins over. He has a loss to Kentucky, right? He picks up
No,
Kentucky.
Clemson's a good team, so we're gonna give him 1 win over Georgia. And then Clemson's a good team the other year we beat them, so we're gonna give him another win over.
You should give him over
We're gonna
Missouri.
give him a win over LSU.
And then Tennessee, you got to give them a win over Bama or something. I mean, that was a great
Yeah,
win
there
too.
you go. He's definitely, man. He's getting another raise. Fuck, I just talked him into it. Wow.
I mean,
understand.
realistically, I get, Rob, what you're saying. You're using that as a talking point of saying, "Oh, that's his only 3 best
Sam
wins."
Houston is dog shit.
It reinforces what Billy is saying here.
But that's not true
Guys don't
because he
have-
hasn't just won 3
He doesn't have-
games throughout.
He's
He's taken a 2-win team and within 4 years brought him to 9.
How,
He
when you
took a
gonna start?
2-win team and immediately won 7. The next year they won 8. He had an off year where our entire O-line was injured.
You won't let nobody
Kale will
talk.
tell you that. Every single starter got injured season long that year. We were starting freshmen.
You've used every excuse in the book.
I don't think that's an excuse. I think that's giving context, Billy.
Well, you keep using
Billy,
context.
hold
You can use
up.
that
Billy,
word,
you
but-
state one stat and you
So you
don't
can't
give
say
any
nothing.
other context. And then when I add the context to it, you say it's an excuse. That doesn't
That's
track.
spinning. You're spinning it.
No, that's not spinning it. I'm telling you what a Gamecock fan thinks of a Gamecock coach.
Well, there you go.
What are you talking
and
about?
that's why you got a 16-20 head coach after 4.5 years in the SEC.
You know what's crazy, Billy? Is my coach.
Was he realistically supposed to come into the SEC and win
Yeah, he was supposed to
more
come in and win
games
the
than he
title.
lost in the SEC his first year when
He
he
was supposed to win
inherited
the
a
title,
dumpster
Kale.
fire?
He was supposed
Back
to
to
take
my-
a 2-win team and win the title. Don't you know?
Keep using that excuse. How long are you going to stay with this guy?
I tried to tell you. I think he's got this year locked up. Doesn't matter if he wins another game.
Sellers is
think he's
leaving, so what you going to do
You
with
don't
the
want the
All-American?
answer. You don't want
Who's
that.
going to
answer.
You
replace
don't know
him?
You
that.
asked me a question and then you interrupted the answer. You don't want the answer.
You know, he's 16-20.
What does that have to do with anything?
He's got a losing record.
What does
You're
that have
right.
to do with anything?
That's better
Okay,
than
it's
those
not-
2 Tennessee
okay.
clowns. That's better than Derek Dooley and Butch Jones records.
What happened to him?
Yeah,
happened to
well,
him?
I mean,
How many years were they there with losing records? Tell me that. Tell me that. How long were they there with losing records?
I don't know.
2 or 3. Now, Heupel's been here 4.5 years. What's his record?
I don't
Heupel's a
know.
good coach.
Now tell me he's got a weak schedule and blah, 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 blah.
So every coach
Here we go.
barometer they have to match up with the
Here
top
we go.
coaches in the SEC.
He has
or
had
they're
a
getting
weaker. He
fired.
has had a weaker SEC schedule.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
than some.
Listen,
South
Billy,
Carolina
you
fans
can't.
want to compare his
Hold
against
up,
like
hold up.
Florida.
Because
South
anything that
Carolina
Billy
fans
doesn't
got
agree
a
with
different
is
different
spinning
thing.
it or any this, that, and the third. You don't allow any context in these one-sided questions you ask, Billy.
Context.
You ask
Somebody
these
told you to say
one-sided framed
context and not
questions
context.
to frame the South Carolina man as, oh, you're accepting piss poor results. Oh, your coach is shit.
Looks
But
like
when you
that to
add
me.
context of the guy took over a fucking 2-win team
You said
and
that
brought them
already.
out of the cellar of college football
You said that already.
immediately made a bowl game his
What did
first
Heupel-
year.
what did Heupel
Exceeded
take
all
over?
expectations
See,
apart
you
from
won't
1
let me
year.
talk.
He's
Shut
gone
you
over the
just
SEC,
ass.
the Vegas
Yeah.
win total, what people are betting on all but 1
Spin.
year, Billy.
Maytag.
And all you can
Hey.
point at is the SEC win total. All you talk about spinning things, you spin it in the way you frame that question and don't allow for any context.
16-20.
Andrew,
Looking
Andrew,
at 16 and
let him talk for
24.
a second.
Well, I was
You
making
can't
my
get a
point,
word
and he
in,
was trying to
'cause he's
interrupt me,
gonna keep
Rob.
telling me context.
I had let him
context.
talk.
Context. What did Heupel take over?
I'm trying to
What team did he take
fair
over?
here.
Heupel did great. Is the barometer? You have to be as good as fucking Heupel. Do you think South Carolina spends the amount? Hold up, Billy. Let's give some context. Do you think South Carolina spends the amount of money on NIL as Tennessee?
Definitely not.
Definitely not, right? So you're going to evaluate Shane Beamer on the same level as Josh Heupel as far as quickly turning around a program when NIL is the main factor in recruiting now? So and you don't think the context of that is important in the way you frame that question?
So I guess the question South Carolina fans need to ask, when is their NIL conglomerate going to start spending money?
Well, they need to, but that's regardless of the point. You can't scoot over the fact that you hold Shane Beamer accountable for all these other outside factors without adding any context. All you bring up is the SEC winning record. You don't bring up the situation Shane Beamer inherited. You try and draw a parallel between
says Beamer sucks. End of story.
Listen, to try and draw a parallel between Beamer and Heupel is ludicrous when you factor in the absolute status that Tennessee had as far as a monetary aspect of college football. You guys are the pioneers of suing the NCAA to get any advantage you can, and you want to hold Beamer to the same foothold that you're holding Heupel, but Heupel has all the tools to be successful, and Beamer doesn't.
You can try to run Tennessee down all you want.
Who's running down Tennessee?
How long are you going to stay with? How long do you think Beamer should stay there with this trajectory?
I think with this, if he keeps on the same track, let's say, we were sitting 3-3 last year. Let's give a little context too. I know you hate context, but we were sitting 3-3 last year. Rattled off.
Not looking at this schedule. You wasn't.
It's still a pretty tough schedule. Still going away at Clemson. It's still a pretty tough schedule, objectively speaking, but. Outside of that fact, I think if Beamer keeps on the same track, exceeding the Vegas win total, I mean, he's exceeding it 75% of the time every time he coaches a football team right now. So if he keeps on that same track, I'd imagine he's got a long future.
And now you ask why Penn State fired Franklin. You know why? Because of reasons just like you gave. That's why Penn State got rid of him.
Penn State didn't exceed the Vegas win total.
Let's give Jake a minute here. Jake, what do you got, man? Welcome to the show.
Well, I'm coming on here to talk to Billy because we're not Penn State. We're not Penn State. Like Steve Spurrier is the only head coach that's ever had a winning record in the SEC. We're not Penn State.
So how long you going? So how long you gonna keep Beamer?
All right. I actually agree with Peckerhead. It's got to be like he's not getting fired this year. Next year, with this brutal schedule, if Sellers isn't here, I mean, it's over for him. We're going to have a losing season next year, and it's over for him.
So he's getting fired next year.
If we don't get a winning record next year, it's over for him.
Overall record, not SEC record.
I'm talking overall. I'm not talking
they won't fire him.
I don't think it's fair to say you're going to have a losing record next season because we have no clue what the transfer portal is going to bring.
We don't have any clue who the quarterback is going to be. Sellers might be back again.
He might. You never know.
He's a glutton for pain if he comes back. He is a glutton for pain if he comes back. I have to agree with you that.
Why? I mean, the offensive line should be better next year. You got a better coach. All right.
Well,
you're gonna give up $25-30 million to come back to play for South Carolina.
It's high time. I'm telling you, I'm about done with this bunch. By next year, if they ain't down blocking somebody, if they've got a fucking shitty offensive line, everybody's talking about it again. I'm just about ready to damn throw my hands up and walk the fuck away because I'm about tired of it. I don't like pulling for pussies.
Well, he's already been concussed once. He's going to the NFL next year. He's not coming back to South Carolina for whatever money.
His draft stock can't get any higher than it is right now.
Yeah, exactly right.
I disagree, Rob. I think his
draft stock is higher at the end of last season than it is right now. What are you talking about?
That's what I was about to say. I think he can get all the way to number one. Going into the year, he was projected the number one quarterback. That's faltered off a little bit. He
wasn't eligible for the draft last year.
I know, but I'm talking about preseason.
They're talking about mock drafts and stuff. They definitely did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think
I
you
got
knew
a
that,
hot
Rob.
take
You were just
about
trying to get an
Sellers.
easy
I
dunk,
mean,
and
I
it
kind of
didn't
think
work.
the dude's
But
overrated.
regardless, Sellers has fallen off from what his preseason draft stock was. I think he's got the talent. We all agree on this panel. He's got the talent if he's able to put it on the field and on film. What we know he can do. Which I want to put this out here. I want to get y'all's
He
opinion.
comes back. His parents don't like him.
I think Lenoris
Yep.
Sellers is the hardest player to tackle in the open field in college football. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think you're correct. It used to be Scattaboo from Arizona State. He's probably
Vandy Dandy says Pavia is a better tackler, a better blocker than anyone on South Carolina's O-line. That's asinine.
I mean, the last time I saw Pavia block, I'm pretty sure he got absolutely fucking blown back 5 yards by our DB. He tried to block a DB and got blown back 5 yards.
He didn't look none too good against Alabama. I know that.
Listen, Vanderbilt, they're a mouthy bunch for a crowd that's done absolutely fucking nothing. Let's just call it like it is. They beat South Carolina,
just started
and now they
winning
think
last
they're on
month.
top of college football. That's actually what happened. They beat South Carolina, and they think they're on top of college football. It's sad.
That's what, when everybody was hyping them up before that Alabama game, I mean, what was their biggest accomplishment for the year? Beating South Carolina. And then those same people out of the other side of their mouth talk about how dog shit South Carolina is.
Well, Eduardo, that's actually not true. I remember quite a few. Hell, I remember you had 3 people converge on him while he's 6 yards behind the line.
He drug your entire defense 8 yards, sir.
Did you even watch the game, buddy? Are you that really? Did you watch the game? You must not have. You really must not have. You must not have watched any of.
Now, he did get a couple of intentional groundings called against him, but
yeah, he does some stupid
they
stuff.
They sacked him a few times, but he got his yards too. So I mean.
Well, it's not stupid what he does. He's gambling on himself because
the center, left guard, and left tackle do him no favors. They basically just let everybody go through.
The offensive line is shit, and the coaches are bumblefucks. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm going to bet on my God-gifted talent to try to make plays."
Well,
that's what he's doing.
Let's be honest. Every other quarterback, I'm saying in college, that mental clock goes to 1001, goes to 1002, goes to 1003. His goes to 1001, and he's out of there. And I don't blame him.
Sits in those meetings, just looks like he swallowed a tennis shoe, drool coming out of his mouth.
His internal clock goes to 1001, and he's running.
The thing is, I said, I've never in my life seen, even high school, a guy lined up right in front of you multiple times throughout a game. You point at him. Like Boaz Stanley did, you point at him and then you just let him run right by you. You give him a high five on the shoulder and let him run right. I've never seen it in my life. I've never seen it in my life, and that's all I've been exposed to as far as South Carolina football is concerned for the last 3 years.
I play every fifth quarter postgame show. I've been playing the Superman theme because that's what Sellers is.
Punk rocker?
Yeah.
No, Superman, as in the Superman.
Yes,
his stock is still up there. I don't think his stock has dropped this year.
The theme of Superman, where
Edward is correct there. I heard that on Cole Kublik's podcast. It's some kind of weird metric. It's some kind of something they use to calculate distance traveled and stuff. He ran for 854 yards in that ball game. Holy shit.
Eduardo's not talking a 10-point win over South Carolina is something to be proud of. I mean, his team looked like shit.
Well, according to them, they should have won. They should have won. According to them, they should have won by 30. But I can also make the argument that South Carolina should have blown them out. We had
by all
to
means,
win the ball
no
game.
team should have won that game by 30 is absurd. Let's just be honest. Or were we watching the same game? Dude, your team turned over the ball 3 times. You fumbled the ball on the goal line. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute. Your coach doesn't like winning. He lined up your quarterback to do a tush-push type thing, even though his ankle is fucked. The guy's limping all around. Hey, let's put him under center and hope that he can push his way to the.
Well, listen, when we hand the ball off, we lose yards, man.
He's holding his leg the entire game, and then he runs up the middle for like 50 yards, but his legs hurt.
So Marley had one good leg. Is that what y'all saying?
I'm saying he had a turned ankle. He had a turned ankle and was hurt.
He had a bad wheel.
Yeah.
And played.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Come on, stop the
Read Tom Reed's comment. This is comical.
Hold on, I'm looking for it. Tom Reed says Gunnar Stockton is better than Sellers. Okay.
Well, can I address this first and foremost?
Could you imagine? No, can you imagine Sellers playing behind that Georgia line?
That's what I was just about to say. Can you imagine Sellers throwing to Zachary Branch, Rob? I mean, what are we talking about? You probably have about 3 first-rounders as far as running backs are concerned on your roster. I think it's conservative to say when their career said and done, you probably got 5 first or second round offensive linemen. You probably got 2 to 3 first or second round wide receiver. How do you compare those two players as far as performance?
Well, the only thing you can put out there is that Stockton was smart enough to go to Georgia instead of go to South Carolina because he knew that there'd be better players there to play with.
But the thing is, well, here, and let me say this, Rob.
Oh, no, he wanted to play with Mike
get a lot earlier
Ball.
payday than Stockton. Sellers is going to go to the NFL a lot earlier than Stockton.
I'm not of the opinion that Stockton is a pro quarterback. So maybe.
No, let's see who goes higher in the draft.
Well, and that's what and regardless, if we're just talking smart, I get you're saying college success, but as far as draft results, Sellers is probably going to get drafted higher, and he's going to get drafted a lot earlier in his career than Stockton did. Stockton came in and sat for 3 years.
That's because he has God-given talent.
It doesn't matter. Stockton has God-given talent. Rob, Stockton has God-given talent
that Sellers has.
I'm not saying that. But regardless of the fact, if you've got an opportunity to come in as a redshirt freshman and start versus an opportunity to come in and wait for 3 years, you have an opportunity to show that God-given talent. You're betting on yourself. For Sellers' case, if we're just comparing the two, if I'm the dad of both kids, I would rather have Sellers in that option. He's getting paid quicker. He's going to the NFL quicker.
I think that Stockton had better parents, and they were like, "You want to go there? No, you really don't. Let's go where you can actually."
The goal is NFL, though, Rob.
Edwards says completely dominated. Besides 170-yard run from running back, you never handed the ball to again. That's false. They handed the ball off to him in the third quarter. You're just saying that because you heard Beamer bitching about it. And yes, it was a 72-yard run. Okay, well, you can't take that away. No. You can't make that not part of the game. So, I mean,
he's just being passed out L's
if you take that away, didn't we still have 160
I want to tell you, it wasn't just him. The offense as a whole, they had their best rushing game of the year against y'all. So,
and I told you their rush defense was suspect. You remember I said that?
Yeah, it was sus.
Yeah, it was suspect.
They should have ran the ball all night long.
You think if Saban told it? If you think, what would Saban do if he told his offensive coordinator to run a running back more and he didn't do it?
I mean, realistically, I don't think he'd do anything.
Press conference, it didn't make any sense.
I don't think he'd do anything.
What did he do to Kiffin on the field on national TV because he was?
I don't equate yelling at somebody as doing anything.
Let me tell you something. There's no head coach that's going to tell an offensive coordinator running more and he's not doing it that would keep his job.
Hold on. I think we're all getting this a little bit twisted. If you go back and listen to what he said, they asked him about why we didn't see Fuller run the ball again after he ran that long touchdown. He said, I noticed that too. He said, and then at halftime, he said, I addressed that, and I said, hey, we need to get Matt Fuller some more carries. So he got some carries in the third quarter. That he never said anything about, I told somebody we needed to get him some more carries, and then they never did it.
He said, I told them to give him more carries. I've got the press conference, Cal. Not trying to shit on you, brother.
That's not what he said.
I mean, I got the press conference. We can play it.
I mean, that's fine.
So,
that's what he said. I'm not lying about what I heard.
So,
regardless of the fact, going back to what Billy said, I don't equate yelling at someone as doing anything. As far as actual consequences, no coach in America is going to do anything in that situation. You hire an offensive coordinator to run your offense at the end of the day. Beamer isn't calling
and he
plays.
Doesn't do what you tell him? See, that's the problem there then.
No,
if I'm the head coach, if Beamer's telling them to do stuff,
listen, I can't even prove that he didn't do what he told them.
He didn't tell anybody to do something, they didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think that was
the case.
He asked
why was it not being done?
And that's what I'm going to say. I don't think that's the case. And even if that was the case, yelling at someone is the furthest extent that anything like that would go to.
How about calling coaches by their first name? Is that permissible? Has been for the last couple of years.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't have any issue with that.
Players calling the coach by their first name.
Model says, Jack, what did you think of
players? Oh, you said players? I'd rather not. Go ahead, Rob. Hale, I'm sorry.
No, y'all go ahead and keep arguing. I'm not.
That's my fault. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. I can't. Let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna leave. Do you think if James Franklin came to South Carolina, he would do better than Beamer? Yes or no?
With where the team is now?
No.
Shane started.
No, if he comes right now at the end of this year.
If he comes right now, here, I'll answer this one. If he comes right now, he's going to do better than Beamer because Beamer would have set a lot higher floor than what he was allowed when he got hired. There's a lot better foundation built by Shane Beamer right now than what was left by Muschamp. So regardless of coaching, I think Franklin would do better just based off of that aspect.
I don't know. Yeah. Just hang with Beamer. Just stick with him.
Well, that's
unfortunately, I'm not
don't get why we can't succeed.
Do what?
SEC or not? I mean, I don't get why we have not gone to the next level at some point. I mean, after Steve Spurrier went down, Muschamp was that set everything back. I have no idea how you hire a failed coach from Florida, and Ray Tanner was.
So
good.
what did Spurrier do different?
I'm gonna say obviously he's a much better coach, but he brought in some big time recruits. Connor Shaw.
Now he brought in what?
Big time recruits.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Technically though, if you look at Beamer, technically hasn't he been doing decent with that?
Yeah, with Steve Spurrier, all he had to sell you on was the program and the development you were going to get and the chance to win ball games. He didn't have any NIL or anything to work with, so that was totally a different deal then.
Spurrier sold himself on Spurrier.
Yeah, pretty much.
If he was a quarterback with any potential at all, he could recruit a quarterback, and he did.
Yeah. I wanted to answer that question. The Win Model 88 had asked me about Baton Rouge. What did I think of Baton Rouge, the city, and the atmosphere at the ball game and stuff? It was a cool place. What I saw of it. I didn't get to see a whole lot of the city. Just the school and the area around it. But I thought it was pretty cool. There was a lot of different tailgating and stuff going on, and we actually hung out across the street at a taco place and drank beer for several hours and watched football on one of their 3 TVs. So that was cool. As far as the stadium, it was loud. It was big. It was loud. Their crowd was into it. It wasn't sold out 100%. And I don't think that they actually put all of their I don't know. I don't think their fans put all their heart and soul into this game.
Did you eat a corn dog there?
I think they saw it as kind of like playing Kentucky or somebody. To be honest with you,
did you eat a corn dog?
I want to show you guys. Did you eat a corn dog? That's funny. But here's the comment from Beamer directly from his press conference, including the transcript. I told the coaches at halftime, give the freaking ball to Matt Fuller in the second half, and let's get him back in the game. That's his comment. And
and they did. But he never said
nearly as many carries in the second half, Jackpot. They didn't listen to him. They don't respect him. I mean, that's what it boils down to. There's the actual
he was pissed because after he scored a touchdown at the end of the first quarter, he then noticed that they wasn't playing him in the second quarter. So he said, we need to get him the ball in the second half. And they did.
He didn't have as many carries in the second half, Jackpot.
I don't know what to tell you then. I don't know.
To be fair, I mean, he had 7 carries. On the depth chart, he's the third running back. I would say that's getting the third running back on the depth chart.
But he had – okay. I got nothing.
I mean, realistic. Oh, would you not?
How many? I don't understand why we're all of a sudden just picking on this guy about this now.
Because I can tell you why. He has a history.
We've never had this problem before. I mean,
he has a history of coaches shitting on him, Jackpot.
He loses a couple of games, and now everybody wants to pick holes in something. Hell, this could have happened in the damn Clemson game last year. Why did Rocket Sanders not run that series? You know, why did we choose to run damn Oscar Attaway on this series instead of Rocket Sanders scored on the last run? I mean, you know, they weren't doing that.
No, they weren't.
I mean, I will say this with what Peckerhead was saying. You were talking about that pass interference thing. I totally agree. I was sitting here going, the dude fell down and the defender, like, with his shoulder pad just barely touched him. And I was like, that's pass interference.
You thought it was?
Okay. No, I did not.
That's what I'm saying. It was the most ridiculous call I think I might have seen in a couple of years. Especially given the fact, did you see they tackled Stewart on that play?
Yeah, we never get a holding call. Like,
hell no.
Every single time, I feel like every game I keep on going, holding, up, first down for the other team. I guess holding just doesn't matter unless we're doing it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Hey, I've seen not only that. How many times have you seen the game called for defensive delay of game for clapping? And you see every other defense we play doing the same fucking thing.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen it called against. No, for the other team, yeah, I've never seen it called. It gets called consistently against us.
Like that's a genuine question. Have anybody here actually seen that with their teams? You know, it's really funny. I'm actually from Virginia, and my first South Carolina game was when we played Virginia, like in 2001, 2002. And that was back when Virginia actually was ranked. So I can't remember who the QB was. It was after Anthony Wright, but that dude sucked. My dad got so drunk at the game that we had to sleep in the parking lot before he could drive home.
Where was this game at?
Dondrell Pinkins?
It was at Virginia.
Was it Dondrell Pinkins?
Game out.
He fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line, and Virginia recovered to win. And it was my first South Carolina game. And I remember the guys behind me were so drunk during the kickoff, they kept going, let's go Gamecocks, let's go kick ass. And they kept saying, you can't lick our cocks. And my dad was like, dude. And I was like, yeah, you can't lick our cocks, not knowing what it meant.
They lost. I know that in 2002 they lost a road game at Virginia, but in 2003 they played Virginia at home and beat them. And Dondrell Pinkins threw like a 95-yard touchdown pass to Troy Williamson in that game. You remember him, Rob? Troy Williamson, the speedster?
I remember he caught that slant and took off. It wasn't really like a long beaming pass. Yeah. It was Troy Williamson was gifted from God. Pinkins threw it to him. So it wasn't that far, but it was a quick slant.
Why can't we do shit like that anymore? What I wouldn't give to do shit like that now. Goddamn.
Hey, we actually talked about this on the radio the other night. Why not put God, what's his name? The big wide receiver who's been kind of a disappointment. Instead of having him go with a damn fly route, make that big fucker go over the middle and catch some passes.
Harper?
Let Harper run some damn slot routes. Like, just, hey, we want you to run a 5-yard slant. Run 5 yards and turn. And Sellers just gun him with the ball. He's going to get the ball like this, and they're going to have some small dude trying to tackle him? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
I said something about why wouldn't you try to run a damn jet sweep with him?
Shit,
He's fast as hell.
Bubble screen, whatever you want to call it.
Rooster Man said it was going to take his knees out. No, they wouldn't.
I mean, I've been arguing the entire year for quick passes, getting the tight ends involved, or leaving the tight ends to block. I mean, it's so obvious this O-line can't block for 2 seconds, so you need to just do some quick slants. There don't need to be any developing plays.
That's what I've been calling for all year. Slants, drags, out routes. We don't run any of it. I've been calling for that all year, Jake.
That's the way you can cut down on that pressure. So,
I mean, Mike, how do you not realize?
Ball Striker 44 says Harbor is a track guy. No, he's not a track guy.
You put Harbor. Let me just paint a picture for you. All right, with the wide receiver core we have. Okay, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility you could run 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Would y'all agree? You put Harbor at the slant at the slot, right? Who the hell do you think's guarding Harbor at the slot? Who's going to keep up with him? That's what I'm saying. Who's going to keep up with him on a slant route? Who's going to keep up with him on a drag route? Who's going to keep up with him on a post? You put him in the slot, he's probably going to be matched up against your second cornerback, maybe a linebacker if they're really disrespecting him. I doubt it. But your number 1 cornerback is going to be on Vandrevius Jacobs, if I had to guess based off of performance. You get a second cornerback or a linebacker or a safety with Harbor in the slot. I mean, I don't give a damn about route running. Just his athleticism alone, he's cooking him. I don't
know why they don't run the damn play the LSU ran Saturday night with that tight end, which is they put the receivers over to the right in that formation like the diamond, as like the eye candy, and then he ran the route down on this side and just went 1-on-1 and beat him.
He should be used like that 6'7" dude from LSU, Florida State, wherever he's from.
Well, somebody asked if I think it's bad coaching. Yeah, well, I think they're not putting him into positions where they can exploit his strengths, which is the fact that he's big and fast as fuck. All they want to do is run fly routes with him. So I don't know.
Need to get him and Brady.
They don't care about winning. That's the way it looks.
I hate Brady Hunt. I'm gonna be honest. I hate Brady Hunt.
Why?
I don't think Brady Hunt should be getting all the reps he's getting over when we had Michael Smith. I think Michael Smith should have been a bona fide starter.
You're talking about the tight end, right? You're talking about the tight end?
I think Michael Smith should have been
offensive staff there. Remember, your leading receiver last year was a tight end, so they're trying to keep up with that and make their leading receiver.
And that's what I'm saying, Rob. Michael Smith was head and shoulders a better pass catcher than Brady Hunt. Brady Hunt, he's sluggish. He runs like an O lineman at times. I've never looked at Brady Hunt.
I've heard from they say he blocks better. Is what I mean. I think Beamer said that, and I can't remember, but I remember hearing that he blocks better. I don't know.
And that might be the case. However, you got a guy like Michael Smith, who's arguably one of your best skill. But I mean, Michael Smith was gearing wherever he goes, he's going to be a Jaheim Bell. A South Carolina Jaheim Bell. I mean, I'm real big on Michael Smith. He came in as a true freshman, gave a solid production at the tight end role, which is very hard for a true freshman. As a matter of fact,
Is it
on
going
the
to be
offense,
like Jaheim Bell and his mom lose her shit on Twitter and then he
no, I'm
transfers?
talking about as far as importance to the offense.
Oh, okay.
Importance
I'm
to the
sorry.
offense,
Thank
yeah.
you. Continue.
Yeah, no, hopefully his mom ain't that crazy. But as far as importance to offense goes, wherever he lands, I think he's going to fill that role perfectly. And we had a gem, man. The dude was an athletic freak at tight end. He might not have been up to par if that's true what y'all were saying on blocking, but
Well, if you remember when they asked Beamer about him in the press conference, he just basically said that practice matters around here. So he's trying to tell you he's loafing in practice without saying it.
oh, I didn't hear that. And I
Yeah,
hate
I mean
that if that's the
that's
case.
the deal. I mean, he didn't.
I hate that that's the case.
I wouldn't
mean, that
play
dude
his
was
ass
good.
either if he was fucking around in practice. I mean,
Yeah.
it ain't like. I mean, if he was worth playing, or if he had done what he needed to do to be getting catches, he'd be getting catches. I mean, that they aren't like so stockpiled with talent that they can just be letting them sit around on the bench for damn sure.
Well, you
There's
know,
something to
I
it.
got to kind of give a little pushback on that, Kale. I will say, did you hear the Beamer quote talking about it doesn't matter what you do week to week? We're going to have one guy who might go for 8 catches and then might not get a catch next week.
I didn't hear him say that.
He said something along the lines of that. So in the pushback I'm giving, it's to say that potentially their game, scheming up specific players each week, which I think would be kind of foolish to scheme up a skill position player each week. But it's seemingly the route they're wanting to take as far as what he said in some of the press conferences. Because that's why, when we were talking about Mazeo Bennett a couple weeks ago, that's
Right.
I think it was a question about Mazeo Bennett, why hasn't he had the production that he's had last year? And Beamer just kind of came out and said, look, we're going to have a guy go for 10 catches this week, 0 catches next week, essentially is what he said, which, again, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of. I think you got to get your
Doesn't make
guys
a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. And that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not a fan of it. When you know you got your guy, you feed your guy.
You should be playing your best player, period.
Gentlemen, it's getting late, so appreciate you guys both.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Hey,
coming.
can I end on one thing though?
Sure.
Drake May is a top 5 NFL quarterback. He all I have to look forward this year is my Patriots. We're gonna absolutely skull fuck the Titans. Jordan Love, you paid him too early. He's an absolute schmuck. The Packers are in shambles. Hell, the Jets are probably better. Let's just be honest. And their best quarterback in very recent years just like beat the hell out of 72-year-old. But I think they're in a better state. Go ahead, Cal.
Did y'all hear Lane Kiffin trolling Kirby Smart?
No, what'd he say?
Really?
Damn it, I can't. Yes,
Here,
I can't remember what he said now. He made something to the effect of he made it was in his press conference Monday, something to the effect that he
I got it. I got it here. It says explains why Kirby Smart is college football's best coach. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, no, he said something to the effect of he doesn't look like he's missed too many meals lately.
Damn,
something I
can't.
Yes.
Dude, Lane
What the hell?
He has the most punchable face in the SEC.
Lane Kiffin's such a fucking schmuck, dude.
Hold on. I think I'm pulling the quote right now.
Find it, Rob, and say exactly what he
for it
said. It wasn't exactly that, but it was along those lines.
I mean, then again,
I'm
wins. He's allowed to be an asshole.
I gotta hear this. But while we're pulling it up, Drake May is a top 5 quarterback. Patriots are back, whether you like it or not. The Patriots are back.
Yeah, I think you guys are legit. I'm a Steelers fan.
I mean, let's just
5 turnovers to beat you guys.
Let's just be honest. All we gotta do is get the run game fixed. We gotta get a running back who won't fumble the ball, I should say, at least once per game.
Here you go. I got it. Hey, can you?
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna play it here. So, what? This is pretty shitty if you think about it. Hold on. Let's see here.
I remember that. Yeah, this was Monday, I believe.
All right, here we go. Let's see if this is going to play. Oh, come on.
It's muted.
Play. Fuck is it muted at? No. Oh, there it is up top. Hold on.
Calories in a game you ran.
You rewind it. Yeah.
Off the wall question. You and Kirby, probably some of the more demonstrative coaches on the field. Who do you think burns more calories in a game you ran?
I don't know. That's a good question. I walked by the TV and saw his press conference today, so it don't look like he's burned too many calories.
What a stupid question, though.
That's the dumb fuck in there. What a mess. Oh, I looked at him on TV. It looks like he's burned too many calories. That's why all you motherfuckers hate Lane Kiffin. I think he's great. I think he's fucking great.
After hearing that question, I kind of can't really blame that
Say
response.
that
That was just out of context.
Looked at him on TV. It looked like he's burning too many calories. God damn
You think Kirby Smart's in the locker room talking to his D line, talking about that motherfucker called me fat. We're gonna go all out this week. That motherfucker called me fat.
He's gonna be on the press conference after the win on a treadmill. Yeah, I burn calories.
Yeah, I'm a fat fuck because he says I'm a fat fuck because every time I fuck your daughter, she makes me a sandwich. You're smart saying some shit like that to him. That'd be funny. I don't know.
That's actually that's pretty funny. But Lane Kiffin's still a piece of shit. I'd never send my kid to go play football for him. He's an absolute.
Well, he drug his nuts on you last year, so there's that.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
He's gonna do it
I wouldn't say that. Hey, but hold up.
Year.
Before we go, Packers suck ass, Rob. They're always going to suck ass. You're not going to see another Lombardi in your lifetime. All right? Accept it. You paid Jordan Love, and he didn't deserve it, and now you're reaping the consequences. Okay? Other than that, go Coach Beam. Hey, Rob, before the stream's over, though, if you say 3 nice things about Shane Beamer, I'll donate $20. Go Cox.
Okay. Jakes, have a good day, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, there you go. Yeah, well, let's see here. It's hard to take anything Peckerhead thinks seriously about football because he thought Mike Shula was a good coach. So I just laugh when he says these things. By the way, the Packers won the first Super Bowl ever played. Remember that, too. Anyway, Jackpot, you got anything else you do, buddy?
I do not.
All right, there you go. It's been a good show. We'll see you later.